Time in YouTube, and welcome back to another set review for the channel. Today we are going to be looking over the soon-to-be-released Shining Legends set. This set's a little different than most, as this one is similar to Generations, where you have to buy, premium boxes, the premium ETBs, and all those wonderful sets in order to pick up this exclusive set. Now this set has a ton of stuff for collectors, so if you guys are more into the collecting side of things, definitely check this set out because it looks absolutely fantastic. There are a few products that you can only get certain cards in. As you can see in front of you, there is a Shining Ho-Oh in the set, but we'll get to that in a moment. But it can only be picked up in the ETB, so we'll go over a couple of those cards as we go through this. But I wanted to just showcase, I'm going to scroll right down. As you can see, normally we would do it in a regular set list format. They don't have that. So we're going to have to go through the cards like in little squadron, like little segments. So if you guys are a little out of the messy, I apologize, but that's just how today's episode is going to be. Kudos to Pokebeach for always having our backs and making sure that they have all this information for us. If you guys haven't already, please bookmark it on your web browser, because honestly, they are one of the best sites out there for Pokemon, in my opinion. And of course, we're going to go through the entire set as of now, so sit back, maybe tab out if you guys aren't used to the pictures and all that, and let's get into this. So we start off with Shining Ho-Oh. Now, like I said at the start of this, Shining Ho-Oh is not actually in the set itself. It is part of the promo portion of this. But Shining Ho-Oh is 130 HP Fire type with the Golden Wings ability. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, move up to 2 basic energies from the Pokemon to your bench in any way you like. So pretty much it has Wish Baton on it. And Fire Blast will do 110 for 1 fire, 3 colors, so you have to discard energy. So overall, you can see that the Shining Pokemon aren't quote-unquote competitive. They've got some great stuff behind them and could obviously be powered up nicely, but them themselves are really a collection card. Not all of them are. There are some that will be very handy, as we will go through them. I think there are 2 others that are exclusive to the toolbox, but otherwise everything else should be in the set, barring maybe like alteration arts, so like full arts and whatnot. They are part of like, how do I say it? They're just part of the boxes. But let's take a quick look at the rest of the set. So, as you guys can see, there are a ton of good old Shining Legends here. Now, I'm pretty sure we can get to everything here. So we have Arceus here. Now, I do apologize for the blurriness. There's not much I can do on that. But Shining Arceus has 130 HP, is a colorless Pokemon. As you can see, the artwork is absolutely fantastic. And these cards have like these weird, like, floating, like, as you move them, the holo like changes colors. They're absolutely fantastic looking. Arceus has Fabled Defense. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all damage done to your bench by your opponent's active Pokemon. Well, by your opponent's attacks, I mean. So that's great. He's literally if you have him in the front, he'll protect all your bench Pokemon from attacks. He then has the Ultimate Arrow for 4 colorless energy. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, which is great. He's got Tapu Koko's attack for 10 more damage, but it also costs you 2 more energy. So in all, like you're seeing the comparisons here. Again, Shining Arceus has some great stuff, just not that great of an attack. Like, it's a fantastic attack, but too high cost. Then you've got the Shining Volcanion, and like I said, you can see them as he's holding them here. They're all in one hand, and they all have like a different reflection as you look through them. Shining Volcanion has 130 HP. Well, you guys can't see much. Let's see if I can move this for you. So there. You guys can see all the little pictures now. But Shining Volcanion has 130 HP as a water type, has dual pump for 3 water energy. This attack does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. That's not bad, but still, it's 3 water energy, so again, we're not really going to see much there. Then it has Quad Smash for 4 colorless energy. It looks like you're going to flip 4 coins. This attack does 50 damage for each head. So you have a maximum damage output of 200 damage with this guy. He can be powerful, but you're relying on coin flips. We really do not want to do that. Next up is Shining Mew. Now this one's definitely blurry, but I will do my best here. Shining Mew has 30 HP, is a Psychic type Pokemon, and for 1 Psychic Energy has Legendary Guidance. Search your deck for up to 2 energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle your deck afterwards, and then it has Beam for 10 damage, I think it is. We have a better picture here. Beam, yeah, 10 damage. Next up is the Rayquaza. These are hard to read. We have Shining Rayquaza. I'll try and get that more in focus for you guys, because it's in focus for me, but not in focus for you guys. We have Shining Rayquaza, has 120 HP, is a Dragon type, and for 1 Lightning Energy, you're going to do Dragon Pulse for 40. It looks like discard the top 2 cards of your deck. And then you have Sky Judgment, 1 Fighting, 2 Lightning, 1 Colorless. You'll do 190, and it looks like you move all energy. Let's see if I can get a better picture. I can't. It looks like it's either discard an energy or move energy. I can't read that from here. I apologize for that one. Next up, you have this Jirachi, who's in a much better focus right now. 70 HP, Psychic type, with Stellar Rain. It costs 1 Psychic Energy, and it'll do 10 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolved Pokemon, devolve it by putting all the evolution cards on it into your opponent's hand. So it has Espeon EX's ability, but it'll do 10 damage. Difference is Espeons will cost colorless. This one unfortunately does cost a Psychic, so you can't just splash it in. Lastly, for the Shining Pokemon that are in the set is Genesect. Shining Genesect has 130 HP, is a Grass type, has the Energy Reload. Once during your turn, you may move a Grass Energy from one of your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. Then you can go for Gaia Blaster, 3 colorless energy, it's 50 damage, and then you do 20 more damage for the amount of grass energies. We've seen this before on like Trevenant EX, Keldeo EX, all those other cards back in the X and Y era. And I guess they wanted to bring some sort of the ability back, so Genesect has that ability. This is here just going over the fact that there are reverse energies in the set, and this is the first time that they're being reproduced in a set, so if you guys are huge Hollow Hunters, you guys can actually get the good old reverse energies with this, which is great. As you can see, they all are represented except for Dragon. Actually, he doesn't have a grass one. Oh well, not a big deal. Now we've got our GXs and secret rares, and I think they cover all the stuff. There are a few cards here that like are reprints, so keep that in mind as well. But we'll go over these guys here. I think they've got individual ones. So we've got the Entei GX, 180 HP, Fire-type Pokemon, and again, I do apologize for the quality of the artwork. He is taking pictures of these IRL, because he has them all now. They came out early for him. Well, if you guys order on Pokemon Center, you can get the ETBs from them. Anyway, Entei GX has 180 HP, has Combustion, 1 Fire, 1 Colorless for 50, then has Fire Fang for 2 Fire, 1 Colorless. It'll do 100 damage. I think it says your opponent's active Pokemon is now Burn, and then you also have Brave Burn GX. I'm not even going to try there. Let's see. It says this attack does 150 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So you can kind of do some direct damage, which is kind of cool, for 3 energy, 2 being Fire, which isn't bad. So Entei GX, not a bad card. It'll definitely see a little bit of play. I kind of wish the 100 damage was a little bit more, but having that opportunity to have a burn right away, you can obviously power this thing up with Volcanion. You can set up with Kukui right away, so for turn 1 Fire Fangs, or for turn 2 Fire Fangs, and him being a basic is really, really nice. So I think this card will see a little bit of play. It's hard to say, but it is a really good card. And having that ability to obviously snipe is really nice as well. Because you can hit those weakened cards. Probably partner this up with like a Tapu Koko GX, kind of get some ricochet damage all throughout, and then bam, you've got some great spread damage, and you have an easy way of targeting whatever you want to hit. As you guys have seen, there are Mewtwo GX in this set as well. Let's see if I can get a better art of this. There we go. Mewtwo GX. Oh, it's not in the actual thing. So there's the artwork. Here's the text. Bam! 190 HP, Psychic type Pokemon, has full burst, 1 Psychic energy. This attack does 30 damage times the amount of energies attached to this Pokemon. So if you got tons of stuff on him, you could do some decent damage, especially if you can scale up nicely. Like if you get its Psychic energy down and then go for some nice double colorless or like energy acceleration or anything like that, you can try and get this Mewtwo going. Of course, you might want to use Wishful Baton over, say, Fighting Fairy Belt or Choice Band, because that way you can kind of just move the energy onto another Mewtwo. So, personally, that attack is going to be pretty good. Mewtwo, again, has a very nice skill. It has Super Absorption as well for 60 damage. It'll cost you 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless. You'll heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Personally, that's not really enough. If it healed 60, that would have been a little bit of a different story. That could have done more. Like 60, do 60, heal 60. Could have done a little bit more, but 30 damage nowadays really isn't a whole lot in the competitive format. And then you have Psystrike GX, which is it's a pretty good one. I really like it because it's going to hit, you need 3 Psychic Energy to do it, but 200 damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So that is awesome. You can hit through the Safeguarding Pokemon, the Aurora Veiling Pokemon, all those wonderful things. You can hit through anything, and you'll be able to do damage, which is great. Psystrike GX actually is a very good attack. I think Raichu is the only one here that's like this that we're going to have a hard time reading. So I do apologize if I have any errors. Actually, is there other Rainbow Rares right here? We can do this one. So Raichu GX has 210 HP, is a Lightning type Pokemon, obviously. Has Powerful Spark for 2 colorless energy. You're going to do 20 damage. This attack does 20 more damage times the amount of electric energy attached to your Pokemon. That's all Pokemon, it sounds like. So if you're... Is Raichu the new Darkrai? That's really cool. I just kind of noticed that. Yeah, you power up things with this, and there are, obviously, you can use things like Magneton to get more energy down in a turn. You can partner this thing up with a ton of stuff. Of course, he is a Stage 1, so you do have to evolve it, and that's the downside compared to Darkrai for Raichu, is he has to be evolved, but there are ways to get around that, of course. He also has Thunder, 2 Lightning, 1 Colorless, 160 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. Not the best, but it's still, you know, it's alright. And then you have Voltail GX, 2 Lightning, 1 Colorless, 120 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, not burned. So here's a great example of a bad situation going right for you. You know, sorry about that. You know, you're using Powerful Spark, you just don't have enough Lightning energy down. Go for that additional energy drop onto Raichu, and you hit for 120 instead of the, what, 80 damage the Powerful Spark naturally would do. We're looking at Raichu here. Then you would go for the Volt GX, 120 damage, and then the next turn your Powerful Spark will do more because you can start setting up other Pokemon with the Lightning energy. And you can either go for Thunder to do damage to yourself, or I think it's, you know, it's got a lot of a good set here. You got some huge damage with Powerful Spark, being as you can hit from all your energy on your board position, so it can include all your bench Pokemon. You've got the Voltail GX, which can paralyze, giving you the opportunity to hopefully stall out unless they use a Guzma, of course. And then you have Thunder for some decent, just straight up damage. So overall, I think Raichu is actually pretty good. I personally want to build this deck. I think it'll be a really fun little deck to build. Next up, we have the... Oh. Can I read it over here? Yeah, this one's a little bit better. Next up is Zoroark GX, 210 HP, has Trade. Once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. I like that ability. It's a good ability. You know what? It keeps you from getting... especially late game when you're stuck, like you're desperately looking for one card, you can trade that card in that you didn't want, get rid of it, and you get 2 more cards, potentially, hopefully getting that last card you need to win the game. It has Righteous Beating for 2 colorless energy. It'll do 20 times, this deck does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. So it has the ability to do 100 damage there. Because Skyfield is not in rotation with it. If you're playing Expanded, then yes, you can do that. You can hit for nice damage. It's pretty much 10 damage less than Mega Rayquaza, so keep that in mind when you're going about it. With the same HP. Then it has Trickster GX for 2 Dark Energy. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks and use use it as this attack. Very nice GX attack. It can go in, do whatever you need to do. You don't need the energy costs on one of your opponent's powerful attacks, and you're really good to go. I think the GXs here are actually pretty good in the set. If I was to have to rate it, I might get shunned for this, because it all depends on the situations as they come too. I think they all are usable. Entei again with partner with like Volcanion is good. Mewtwo on its own has some fantastic kit. Raichu alone has, like, it, in my opinion, probably has one of the better kits. And then Zoroark has, I don't know how to rate this. Now again, this is opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you rate these are. I personally think probably Raichu is probably higher. Like, if I was to do this, my most hyped will be Raichu, then Zoroark, then probably Mewtwo, and then Entei. And Entei's not even bad. Like I said, Entei's not even bad. Like, they're all good cards. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Let me know in the comment section below, what would you rate these 4 GXs as? I think they're all really good. As you can see, we have a full art supporter as well in Pokemon Breeder. Pokemon Breeder, draw 2 cards and heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. If you have no cards in your hand, you can't play this card. In other words, you're breeding the cards that you have in your hand. So you can't just play this because you have nothing in your hand. Which is... I don't know if I like that supporter, to be honest with you. There are more supporters out there that can not only... Usually I don't need to heal 20. Again, 20 is so little. In regular play, like if you're non-GX format, maybe 20 would be cool. But unfortunately, because GXs have, you know, like 210 HP, what's 20 damage? What's that gonna do? That's what that's gonna do. And for those of you who are wondering about this card here, this is a secret rare Mewtwo. This has the exact same shiny effect that the Shining Pokemon do with Mewtwo in the tube. So this is your secret rare for the set, and it's got the same attacks as the other Mewtwo, which is great. And as you saw, you have all the regular art ones as well in the set. So that is all your hyper rare cards, all that. If you guys are wanting to learn about the other cards in the set, stay tuned, but that is all your, like, secret rare, GX, all those kind of cards. Now we're going to take a look at the bulk of the rest of the set. Now again, it's not in any order, so keep that in mind, but here we go. Now this may be hard to read for some, but we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Latios has 110 HP, has the breakthrough attack for 2 colorless energy. It'll do 30 damage. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So you hit the active, you hit a bench, which is not too bad. And then you have Lagoon Flight, 70 damage, 1 second, 2 colorless. Not a terrible card for a non-GX attacker. Not optimal. It's not going to do massive damage, but it does get a little bit of spread damage. Still, for that price, you're probably still going to want to run Tapu Koko, because that way you're going to hit the entire opponent's bench for 20. It just seems like a little bit more opportunity there. Next up, we have this lovable Shaman Holo. Probably one of my favorite artworks in this set, personally. Has 70 HP, is a grass type, has Flippity Flap for 1 grass energy. You get to shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw 6 cards. So literally, it's like having Shaman back in format, but now it's an attack instead of an ability. Not terrible, but for those of you who do not play GXs, you know, this card's kind of cool. And then it has Rally Back, 1 grass, 1 colorless, 30 damage. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from your opponent's attacks during your last turn, this attack will do an additional 90 more damage. So, you can hit for 110. Already, he actually hits harder than the Latios. Great, he has better draw, he's a good card. I'm not mad about this card, actually. It's pretty decent. Will I be using it? Probably not. Next up is Keldeo, 110 HP, Water-type Pokemon with Bailout. It costs you 1 colorless energy. You get to put a water Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. It's kind of cool that you have the opportunity to retrieve Pokemon. It's just like having a rescue stretcher, but for water types. So it's a really cool attack, but unfortunately it does make you use up your attack. Then you have Resolute Blade, 20 damage, 2 water. This attack does 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which isn't bad at all. It means you can hit for the maximum of 120 damage if they've got a full bench out. So that's kind of cool. Next up, we've got Yveltal, 120 HP Dark-type Pokemon. This card is really cool because it's like having Umbreon GX and the old Yveltal together in a non-GX attacker. So I think this card's actually really cool. I'm not big on the energy costs, but it's actually not a bad card. So it has Strafe, 2 colorless energy, 30 damage, and you may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench, which is cool. And then you've got Oblivion Wing, 1 dark, 2 colorless, 90 damage, and then you attach a dark energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So again, very nice card. Once the old Yveltal does rotate out, people can still use this one, which is great. You still get that Oblivion Wing. It's just going to cost you a little bit more. Next up is Raikou, 120 HP, lightning type Pokemon with Booming Thunder. For 1 lightning energy, it'll do 30 damage, and attach a lightning energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Now that is awesome! That is awesome. It lets you get that nice attack off, a little bit of damage, get that energy down, nice little bit of energy acceleration for lightning types. You can easily partner this up with Raichu to kind of keep those lightning energies in play. So far, I think this Raikou is probably one of the best ones out of these in terms of attacking. And then you've got the Electro Ball, 2 lightning, 1 colorless, 90 damage. Personally, I wouldn't be setting up my Raikou for that. I'd be setting up something like a Raichu or something else for that energy cost while I'm using the Booming Thunder to keep the energy back in my deck. This way I can Ultra Ball. I don't have to worry about losing an energy because I can get it back with Raikou. It's a great card. Great card, in my opinion. Next up is Palkia, 130 HP, Water-type Pokemon. Has Spiral Drain, 2 colorless energy, 30 damage. You get to heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. And then has Aqua Blade, 2 water, 1 colorless, 100 damage. Also, keep in mind that all these cards are holo. I think all the rares in this set are actually a holo card, so keep that in mind. It's actually a great set for that. Again, huge collector's set. Huge collector's set. Then we've got this Marshadow over here who's got some amazing artwork. He's really cute, and I absolutely want to get this card. Has Let Loose. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may have each player shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 4 cards. So it's literally like playing an N without having a support. Very nice card. Then you have Shadow Punch, 1 colorless, 1 psychic. It'll do 30 damage to attack, isn't affected by resistance. So you're not using this for an attacker, obviously. You're going to use it for his Let Loose ability, getting like an additional N into a psychic dex. It's a really cool card. I think the ability is really strong. I'd like to see it see some play. I don't know if it will. I don't know if I'll be using it at all, but I think this card is really cool, and it's a nice tech. It gives you a nice little option here. Next up is Virizion, 110 HP, it's a grass type, of course, with Wrapped in the Wind. 1 grass energy, 30 damage. You may attach a basic energy card from your hand to this Pokemon. So, unlike Raikou where it attached to your bench Pokemon, this one attaches to Virizion, which I don't like as much. If it was to another grass type Pokemon, it would have been better, because that way we could have just kind of gone for some energy acceleration, and this attack would have been so much better. But unfortunately it doesn't. And then it has Pike, for 2 grass, 1 colorless, 90 damage. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this one's a little bit more like Lagoon Flight, but the energy cost means 1 more grass energy for 20 more damage. Then you've got Zekrom, which is like an old statement. Like, it's actually kind of funny that we're running. I just did 2 theme deck corners for Zekrom and Reshiram, and these 2 here are kind of in the set, and they don't really have much to change. This Zekrom here is almost like a carbon copy of the old Reshiram from Next Destinies. It's 130 HP. This one is a lightning type, obviously, versus the fire type Reshiram, and has Outrage for 20. Does 10 more for each damage counter on it, so it has a maximum damage of 140. For 2 colorless energy, and a Stormblade. 2 lightning, 1 colorless, 130. Discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. It's legit Reshiram, but now in Zekrom. Cool. I guess. Next up is Hoopa. Now this card's actually really good. Has 120 HP, Dark type, and this is a basic Alolan Ninetales. Essentially, that's legit what this is. I believe it's the same attack damage, same energy cost, but instead of having to evolve from Alolan Vulpix, you just drop this card down. It has Scoundrel Guard, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's GX or EX Pokemon. It's good! it's good. That's great. And being as it's a basic Pokemon, it's great. It's a guard type. It gives dark type Pokemon the ability to have some sort of like safeguard, like how fighting has with Carving, and how a water type had with Alolan Ninetales. Now dark type has that same kind of coverage. And Super Psybolt is decent, you know. For a non-GX attacker, 80 damage, sure, it's a high cost, but to have that ability right there, that's enough to make this card really, really good. Next up is Manaphy, 60 HP Water-type Pokemon, has the Blessings of the Deep ability. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from one of your Pokemon that has any water energy on it. That's not good. The reason we're not using Generation Shaman is because it's not good. Wave Slash, 30 damage. 1 water, 1 colorless. This card, in my opinion, not great. Not great. Now, Reshiram here, I actually really enjoy the artwork on this. This artwork is absolutely fantastic. And again, it has that outrage attack that we just covered on Zekrom. 10 more damage for each damage counter on it. Does 20 naturally. And Scorching Breath as well. For 2 fire, 1 colorless, it's going to do 130 damage. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Personally, I like this attack better than I do this attack, because technically there are ways to rotate your Reshiram around, having them being able to attack on a consistent basis without really having to lose their energy. You obviously can partner this up with Zoroark, you can partner this up with any sort of retreating thing that lets you get into the active position, whether it be Guzma, switches, whatever you want. This particular one I like better. So, just opinion there. And those are all the major rares and holos. Now we can take a look at the uncommons and commons, fully evolved Pokemon. There are some good stuff in here too, but this is where we get to the part where it's not as, exciting. So we have Breloom here. We have Shroomish, but we have Breloom, which is the one we're going to be looking at. 110 HP, Grass type, has Hibernation Spore, 1 Grass Energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Your opponent flips 2 coins instead of 1 between turns. If either of them is tails, that Pokemon is still asleep. I like that. I do like that. I don't see this seeing play, but I like that ability. Then you have Magnum Punch for 3 colorless energy, 80 damage. So, to me, to be able to evolve into this for 1 energy, not a great card. Then you have Carnivine, 100 HP, Grass-type Pokemon with Flick Poison. Flick. For 1 Grass Energy, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. The new active Pokemon is now poisoned. Now, that I do enjoy. If you're playing like a non-GX format, because people do that, guys. This card is really cool because it's like acting like a Lysander and then poisoning them for 1 energy. Very nice. Very nice. And you can partner this thing up with like, Seviper, things like that just rack up that additional damage. Then you also have Crunch for 1 grass, 1 colorless, 30 damage, discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you bring in a heavy Pokemon, unless they're using some sort of supporter card, they will be locked in, and you'll be able to remove their energy while they're taking all this poison damage. So Carnivine overall is a really nice little card. Again, you're not going to see it work very well in like the GX format, but if you guys do play things that are non-GX format, Carnivine is actually not a bad card. I really do enjoy it. Now, first off, I want to look at this Bulbasaur. That Bulbasaur is so cute. I love that card. The Ivysaur, such a great card. The Venusaur, the artwork is alright. I'm not the biggest on it, but Jungle Totem is really cool. So for 160 HP Grass-type Pokemon, he's got this Jungle Totem ability. Each basic Grass energy attached to your Pokemon provide 2 Grass energy. That's absolutely wonderful. I think that ability is fantastic, and I'm glad they waited for this card to come out after Force of Gems plants rotated out, because getting this turn 1 is broken. It's absolutely broken. So now having to rare candy into the Venusaur is worth it. And if you're playing grass types, guys, this card is actually pretty good. It's only an uncommon in the set too, keep that in mind. So this card, in my opinion, is pretty decent for the Jungle Totem. You can use this kind of like a partner with Mewtwo, for instance. Just instead of using Psychic types, drop a Psychic energy down or a Rainbow energy down for that initial energy for Mewtwo, and then just Jungle Totem. Boom! Now he's got all this energy for every additional energy card he has. Actually, does that... Yeah, it wouldn't work for the rainbow energy, but it would work for everything else after that. So, I don't know. Keep in mind, there's always some cool strategies with this thing. But I really like Jungle Totem. Then that's Solar Beam, 2 grass, 2 colors, 90 damage. Nothing to write home about there. Your fire types, we've got Incineroar. 170 HP on a non-GX attacker is awesome. Just saying that now. It's a fire type with Profane Punch, 1 fire, 1 colorless. It'll do 50 damage. If your benched Pokemon have any damage counters on them, this attack does 80 more damage. That's not bad. So you're hitting for 130, easily being able to power this thing up with like Volcanion EX or, you know, other ways of doing it. Slap a Choice Band down on this thing. It's not a bad card at all. Then you've got Flare Blitz, 2 fire, 1 colorless, 180 damage. Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. So that is the downside for Flare Blitz. But personally, Profane Punch, not too bad. And again, uncommon. Then you've got Torkoal. 110 HP, fire type, high pressure heat, 30 damage, 2 colorless energy it'll cost you. During your next turn, this Pokemon's high pressure heat attack does 50 more damage. Which is kind of cool. So you naturally do 30, and then for each turn, you'll do 80, as long as he is not rotated out. So that's not too bad. Not great, obviously, but not too bad. He is a common card after all. Then you have Flamethrower, 90 damage, 2 fire energy, 1 color, so you discard energy from this Pokemon. So it's a fire type. It's legit just a fire type. You have Larvesta, nothing really to say there. And you have Volcarona, 120 HP fire type, has Heat Cyclone once during your turn. You may have your opponent switch their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon. So you have Lysander on a stick. Except the difference here is they get to choose. So keep that in mind, guys. They get to choose the Pokemon, not you. But you pretty much get to choose. You pretty much get them to rotate around their main attacker the entire game. In my opinion, that's kind of cool. Especially if you're playing like a sniping class where you kind of want to hit them on the bench. You can kind of do things like that. Your water types, first off, that Totodile is going to be in my collection. I don't care what anybody says. I need that thing. It's amazing. You've got Croconaw, who's got some amazing artwork, and Feraligatr, who's got some amazing artwork. Unfortunately, Feraligator's not all that. Croconaw has Plunge. I just want to kind of go over the ability since it's here. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may move all energy cards from your active Pokemon to this Pokemon. If you do, switch it with your active. So you're going to go with this right before you evolve. This way you can kind of just come in, go for some major damage, and boom! You got Crunch, 1 water, 2 colorless, 80 damage, which is not too bad. You get to discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, which isn't too bad either. Then you got Hydro Splash, 1 water, 3 colors, 130 damage. Not great for 4 energy, just saying. Whoops. I was literally finishing up there, and unfortunately it's not done. We've also got Floatzel here, 100 HP, water type, Razor Fin for 1 colorless, 20 damage, not great, especially not an evolved Pokemon. And then you've got Aqua Bomb, 1 water, 2 colorless, 120 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. No thank you, this card's not great. Then you got Quillfish, 90 HP, water type, with Poison Sting. For 1 colorless energy to be able to poison, it's not too bad at all. Then you've got Shocking Sting, 1 colorless, 1 water, 20 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, this attack does 50 more damage. So you can hit him for 50 while he's poisoned. Not terrible. I can easily see this being... it will not be used, guys. It will not be used. Your Electric-type Pokemon are here. First off, that Pikachu will not be covered, but that artwork is absolutely amazing. It is for, obviously, Raichu. We've got Electrode here, 90 HP color. I've been talking way too much. 90 HP Lightning type Pokemon has the Swift attack for 1 electric energy, doing 60. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Kind of cool. Then you have Plusle and Minun. These artworks are kind of cool. I'm not the biggest on this kind of artwork, but it's, still pretty good. These guys are obviously just tag partners. You got 70 HP Lightning type with Tag Team Boost, does 10 damage for 1 Lightning. If Minun is on your bench, it does 50 more damage. So you have a total of 60 damage here. Wow. And then you also got Minun. You got Collect for 1 colorless, draw a card. Spark, 1 Lightning, 20 damage. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So he's got some sniper abilities, but he doesn't tag off of Plusle, which is kind of sad. I would have preferred if they both tagged off each other. Like, one had an ability, one had the attack, kind of worked together to make it so that they actually, you know, add some sort of combination pair, but they never do that. Next up, we have Golurk. Golurk is flying away on his... I've already ruined that joke. On his blasters. He's got 140 HP. It's a Psychic type. Has triple smash for 1 Psychic Energy, 2 colorless. You're doing 10 damage. You need to flip 3 coins, and this attack will do 60 more damage for each heads. Not great, but you do have the opportunity to do 190, and obviously slapping a choice band on this thing, you can do some damage. Then you have Golurk Hammer, 1 Psychic, 3 colorless, 120 damage. No thank you. We've got the Ekans here. You've got Arbok, Tarbok. With 120 HP, it is a Psychic type, obviously, with Intimidating Pattern. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your Pokemon attack... As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon's attack do 30 less damage. Not necessary when they're doing 200 damage, you're going to one-shot your Arbok anyway. And then you've got Venomous Fang, 1 Psychic, 2 colorless, 70 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Then you've got this really awkward looking Jinx. I don't know what to tell you. It's got 90 HP, is a Psychic type, has Whiny Voice, 1 Psychic Energy. Choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shuffles it back into their deck. Okay, that's cool, but not for an attack. Then it has Feverish Kiss, 2 colorless energy, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. We know what confusion does, guys. It can wreck lives. It can make it for some salty times. There's only one fighting Pokemon in the commons and uncommons portion, that is Stunfisk, he's just laying there on the beach, kind of chilling out. Has 110 HP, fighting type, has Thunder Shock. You don't even use fighting energies for this Pokemon, you use lightning. Thunder Shock, 30 damage, 1 lightning, 1 colorless. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, which is kind of cool for you know, a standard Pokemon. Then you've got Headbolt, 1 lightning, 2 colors, 70 damage. I've seen better Stunfisk, to be honest. And then lastly, our Dark types. I don't think there's any Fairy types in this set. I'm just double checking here. Yeah, no, the minute it's finished with the good old Dark types, it's actually finished here. So there's no Fairy, and there's 1 Dragon. So Scrafty is here. Then you've got... Wait, they got that kind of messed up here. I was looking at him like, wait, Scrafty doesn't evolve into Scraggy. Anyway, Scrafty, 110 HP, Dark type, has Dangerous Head, 2 colorless, 20 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic, this attack does 50 more damage. Kind of cool. You can hit those little basics while they're young. Then you've got Hammer in, 1 dark, 2 colorless. You'll be hitting for 90, so not bad there. Not a great card, but it is just an uncommon. Then you've got Liepard, 90 HP, Dark type, has Torment. For 1 dark, you get to do 30 damage. You get to choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks that they can't use it. Not bad. If they've only got 1 big attack, you can stop them from using it. And then you've got Slash, 1 dark, 1 colorless, 60 damage. Again, not terrible for an uncommon. I might have a hard time reading Spiritomb. But anyway, let's try this. 60 HP, Dark type. I know it's a Whirlpool. I don't know what the other part of that word is. I can't read that. I apologize. As long as this Pokemon is your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat. So if Spiritomb is in there, he's got Shadow Tag, pretty much. He's got Curse Drop, 1 dark, 1 colorless, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. So I don't care too much for that card. And then you've got a Zora artwork, which is really cool. It's in with his mama you have Zora with his mama Zoroark. It's a really nice looking card. They're looking at the moon. It's a really nice artwork. Obviously, we're not going to look over the attacks because it is just a basic for evolution. And now for our trainer cards. Most of these we've had. You've got Sophocles, which is a reprint, Ultra Ball, reprint, Super Scoop Up, reprint, Lily, reprint. We looked up Pokemon Breeder up at the top with its full art. You have Ultra Ball, Lily, again, reprint. You have Warp Energy. I'm gonna try. Provides colorless. I don't have any way of reading that. This is where internet comes into play, and this way I don't have to change things on you. Tab it up. This is so professional. Did not think to look this up earlier. Warp Energy. Doo-doo. Internet, why are you so slow? Warp Energy provides colorless energy, and when you attach this card from your hand to your active, switch that Pokemon with one of your bench. So if it goes on your active Pokemon, it then goes to the bench, which is kind of weird. But it could be cool. It provides you colorless energy. Then you have Pokemon Catcher, which is a reprint. You have Damage Mover. You get to move a damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. We have a reprint of Double Colorless, reprint of How, Switch, Great Ball, Energy Retrieval. I think that's the set, guys. The longest part was trying to figure out what Warp Energy did. I'm just double checking. We looked over everything here. Damage Mover, Energy Retrieval, Great Ball, yeah. Yes. So, that is actually the set. So we'll take a quick look at these good old Shinings one more time. Again, all these cards are mostly collectible. As you saw, there are some pretty decent stuff. I do like the GXs. I think they're all pretty decent. Not like meta-defining or anything, but they're all decent in their own way. They all have their fun little things that they're going to be able to do. And I personally think they all will see a little bit of play. I'll try all 4 of them out once they come out and they're more accessible for me as well to play. Unlike in most sets, I can't just bulk buy codes, so unfortunately I'll be having to take a little bit to do some profiles on this one. And then you've got all these Shining Pokemon, which are apparently really rare. Like he opened up, I think, he opened up 100 Elite Trainer boxes. And you only got 1 Genesect. So keep that in mind, guys. These guys are like 1 in 6. I think they say something in the comments, but I will not show that because that's not where we are. But that is Shining Legends, guys. Hope you guys are excited for. Oh, actually, I forgot 2. I forgot 2 of them. Where are they? We can go here. So here are all the full arts again, and this is your kind of come down sort of reveal, but the problem with this one is it's not as easily, like, it's not in English, so not everything here was portrayed over like it is in ours. Actually, it would have been kind of easier to just use this. Oh well! Anyway, the other 2 cards that were in this set that you guys will see as promo cards are, please tell me they're here. Where are they? Here's Celebi. You have Shining Celebi. Bam. So there's the artwork. This is going to be in your Ho-Oh Premium box. This card is actually really good. It has the Time Recall. As this Pokemon is in play, each of your evolved Pokemon can use any attack from its previous evolutions. So that is really cool. We've seen this again in Shining Memory. Shrine of Memories was a Stadium card that used it, and there was another Celebi promo that used to run it as well. And then where's Malugia? Because that's the other one that is not in the set, and I was really disappointed when they took this out. Because honestly, this is the one card I really want, because Lugia is one of my bays, and of course it's now in that promo box that I have to get. So needless to say, I wasn't too happy. But Shining Lugia has Silver Wing, 60 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an ability, this attack does 60 more damage. So you have 120 damage output for 3 colorless. And then Arrow Force for 4, 130 discard energy from this Pokemon. Again, not a competitive card. I will not be using this one too much for competitive. Celebi is a little bit better in that regard. But that is going to be it, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know in your comments what kind of things you're expecting from Shining Legends. I think this set, let's go back. I think the set launches in October 6th. And you're... for anybody who's just waiting for like the retail stores. And it's available in Pokemon Center now, but obviously I'm not buying anything until the 6th of October. I don't know why I'm stuttering, and I don't know why it's all out of the whack today for me, but it's just how it is. But you can buy them on October 6th. The Elite Trainer Box will be released then. And I don't know when the home, like all the other stuff is. But if you want to check all that kind of stuff out, Pokebeach has all the dates and stuff as they're coming out. So make sure to check them out. Link to Pokebeach will be in the description below. But that is it for today's Shining Legends. Let me know in the comment section what is the card that you are looking forward to the most in the set, not Shining Lugia or Shining Celebi or Shining Ho-Oh or, you know, those cards considering they're not in the set. But that is going to be it for me. If you guys are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me. You guys come back and watch the videos on the regular. We'll continue with our regular Pokemon TCG coverage next week. I just wanted to get the Shining Legends set out of the way before its release on October 6th. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to get myself out of here. But until the next video, time out.